I looked in the mirror this morning and I didn't recognize the woman staring back at me. Not because I'm old, but because she's not me. I'm 68 years old and I've spent $200,000 trying to look like someone else, someone younger, someone prettier, someone worthy. And you know what I got? A stranger's face. A face I can't stand to look at. My name is Barbara, and I destroyed myself trying to be beautiful. This is my story, but it's also a warning for you. Let me tell you something. I remember the first time I lied to myself. I was 38. I was standing in the bathroom, looking in the mirror, and I saw the lines under my eyes, small lines. Nobody would notice, but I saw them. And I said to myself, "You're just tired, Barbara, just tired." But I knew I was aging. Young Barbara was slowly disappearing, and I was scared. God, I was scared. You know, I grew up as a beautiful woman. Ever since I was a child, everyone would say it. Barbara is such a beautiful girl. Look at those eyes. Look at that hair. Beauty was my identity. That's who I was. Beautiful Barbara. In high school, I was royalty. Prom queen. Every boy wanted to date me. Girls were jealous of me. Even teachers treated me differently. Kinder, more understanding. And I got used to it. Got used to beauty opening doors. At 22, I got a modeling offer. Small agency. Nothing big, but still exciting. You're a star, Barbara, they said. Your face is perfect, they said. And I believed them. Believed that my face was perfect. At 25, I met Richard. He was a handsome man. Tall, dark, strong jaw. Good job, good family. On our first date, he said to me, "Barbara, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen." And my heart filled with those words, because those words defined me. 6 months later, we got married. Big wedding, 200 guests. I looked like a bride, perfect bride. Everyone wanted to take pictures. "Barbara is so beautiful," they said. "Like a model," they said. And I lived for this, for those looks, for those compliments. My 30s were beautiful. We had children, 2 of them, a girl and a boy. Richard was moving up at work, and I was working to stay beautiful. Diet, exercise, skin care, hair care, makeup, every day the same routine, because I knew beauty requires attention, requires effort, requires sacrifice, and I was given everything. But at 38, I saw those lines, and I panicked. I immediately went to a dermatologist. "Can we get rid of these?" I said. "There's Botox," the doctor said. "Smooths the lines, makes you look younger." And I agreed. Of course I agreed. First injection, small thing, my forehead, around my eyes. Took 10 minutes. A week later, I looked in the mirror. The lines were gone. My face was smooth. I tried to frown. My face didn't move, and something inside me, something small, felt wrong, but I silenced it. "You look beautiful, Barbara," I told myself. "This is good." Richard didn't notice, never noticed, but I knew, and that was enough for me. 6 months later, I went back. More Botox, more filler. A year later again, and again, and again. By the time I was 40, it had become routine. Every 6 months, going to the doctor, getting needles in my face, and nobody knew. Nobody, because it looked natural. Small changes, but effective. My friends were aging, wrinkles, sagging, gray hair, but I still looked young. "Barbara, what's your secret?" they'd say. "How do you stay so young?" And I'd smile and say, just good genes. I'm lucky, but I was lying because this wasn't luck. This was money, effort, obsession. At 42, my granddaughter was born. Beautiful baby, my daughter's daughter. I looked at her in the hospital, at that tiny face, that smooth skin, those innocent eyes, and I felt something, jealousy of the baby. I felt jealous of the baby because she was new, perfect, and I wasn't anymore. I went home, looked in the mirror. I was 42, but 40s weren't young anymore, and I realized I needed to do more. I went to a plastic surgeon, first time. My eyes, I said. The eyelids are drooping. Can we lift them? The doctor looked. Yes, minor procedure. It'll make you look 10 years younger. 10 years. 10 years younger. And I had the surgery, my first surgery. Recovery took 2 weeks. I was bruised, swollen, looked terrible. But 2 weeks later, the swelling went down, and I looked in the mirror. My eyes were open, young, awake, and I told myself, look, Barbara, this is it. This is the solution. 6 months later, I went back. My nose, I said. My nose is a bit big. Can we make it smaller? The doctor looked. Your nose is actually very nice. But yes, we can make it smaller, more delicate. And I did it. Second surgery. Then my neck. Then my cheeks. Then my chin. Then my forehead. Every time the doctor would say, "Are you sure? It's not really necessary." But I insisted. Do it, I'd say. Please do it. Because it wasn't enough. It was never enough. Every time I looked in the mirror, I'd see a flaw. Something small, something insignificant, but huge to me. And I had to fix it. I felt I had to fix it. At 48, Richard wanted to talk. He sat down across from me. Serious face. "Barbara," he said, "these surgeries, they need to stop." I froze. "What do you mean?" "You look different," he said, "every time a little more different. And now I don't recognize you." My heart broke. "I'm doing it to look better," I said, "for you." "I don't want these things," Richard said. "I want the old Barbara, the woman I married, but the old Barbara was gone, and I couldn't bring her back." "Last surgery," I said. "I promise. Last surgery." But I was lying, and we both knew it. At 50, I had my lips done. Big, full, young girl lips. But they looked wrong. Didn't fit my face. Too big. Too fake. I went to the doctor. "Can we make them smaller?" "Difficult," he said. "We have to wait for the filler to dissolve." 6 months. I lived with those lips for 6 months. People stared directly. One day I was at the grocery store. A young girl whispered to her mother, whispered too loud, "Mom, look, her lips are fake." I heard it. Of course I heard it. And I went home. I cried for the first time, really cried, because I understood. People weren't saying beautiful anymore. They were saying fake. Horrible, but I couldn't stop. I couldn't, because if I stopped, I'd age. And aging was unacceptable. At 53, Richard wanted a divorce. "I can't take it anymore, Barbara," he said. "I can't watch this obsession." "It's not an obsession," I said. "It's taking care of myself." "This isn't you," Richard said. "This is someone else, someone I don't know." And he left. 30 years of marriage. Over. Because I love my face more than him. My children drifted away too. Visits decreased. Phone calls got shorter. One day my daughter said, "Mom, enough. What are you doing to yourself?" "Staying beautiful," I said. "But you're not you anymore," she said. "I look at photos. My mom is gone. I don't know who this woman is." And I defended myself. "This is me," I said. "Better version." But inside I knew. She was right. At 60, I had another facelift. Third time. Tighter. Younger. The doctor said, "Barbara, this should be the last. The skin is thin now. We can't pull anymore." "Okay," I said, but it wasn't okay. At 63, I found a new doctor, more aggressive, more willing. "What do you want?" he said. "I want to look 40, I said. He looked at me. "You're 63. You can't look 40. "Try," I said. "Please try." And he tried. More filler, more Botox, more lifting, and the result was a disaster. My face wasn't symmetrical. One cheek was bigger than the other. My eyebrows too high, my eyes too open. I couldn't smile. My features were frozen. I looked like a robot, and I panicked, ran to another doctor. "Fix it," I said. "Please fix it." "I can't fix it," he said. "I can't reverse the damage. You need to wait for the filler to dissolve." I waited 6 months, looked in the mirror every day, and hated myself. At 65, my granddaughter showed me an old photo from 1995. I was 43 there. "Grandma, was this you?" she said. "Yes," I said. "That was me." "You were so pretty," she said. Past tense. "We're pretty. Not anymore." I cried in front of her, because she was right. I was pretty, really pretty. But now I don't know what I am. I'm 68 now. I've had 13 surgeries, more Botox than I can count, more filler than I can count. I've spent $200,000, maybe more. I didn't keep track. And what did I get? A face that can't smile, a face that can't frown, a face that can't cry. My face is frozen. Movements are artificial, no expressions. People look at me, but not for beauty, for curiosity, for fear. "What happened to her?" they whisper. "The surgeries look terrible." And they're right, terrible. I'm terrible. Last month I went to a new doctor, best one in Los Angeles. "One more surgery," I said. "Fix my jaw, please." He looked at my face for a long time, really looked. Then he said, "I can't help you." "Why?" I said. "I'll pay whatever you want. It's not about money," he said. "You need to stop, Barbara. You've gone too far. If I do one more surgery, I'll be hurting you. I can't do it in good conscience." And that moment I understood. A plastic surgeon, a man whose job is cutting people's faces, told me to stop because I wasn't fixing myself anymore. I was destroying myself. I came home, looked in the mirror, looked for a long time, and I didn't recognize that woman. She was a stranger, complete stranger. Eyes too open, eyebrows too high, cheeks too puffy, lips too big, skin too tight. This woman wasn't me, but I wasn't anyone else either. I was lost, right in the middle, between the surgeries, between the needles, in the mirrors. Old Barbara is gone. New Barbara never existed. And now there's just this stranger. Do I regret it? Of course I regret it. Every day I regret it. But I can't take it back. Can't take back the time. Can't take back my face. I can't go back to before the first surgery. Can't go back to 38, to the day I could have accepted those lines, because I didn't choose that day. I chose panic. I chose fear. I chose obsession. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you young people something. Aging is normal, natural, inevitable. Wrinkles are normal. Gray hair is normal. Skin changing is normal. And these things don't make you less beautiful, don't make you less valuable. They make you human, real, authentic. But society lies to us. Stay young, it says. Wrinkles are bad, it says. Aging is unacceptable, it says. And we believe it because we're scared of being invisible, scared of being worthless. But let me tell you the truth. You do become invisible. But because of the surgeries, because people don't see you anymore, they only see what you've had done. I was Barbara. I was once a real person, had a real face, a real smile. But now I'm a mask, a moving mask. If you don't like yourself right now, if you look in the mirror and see flaws, please stop. Surgery isn't the solution. Botox isn't the solution. Filler isn't the solution. Because the problem isn't in your face. The problem is in your head, in your heart. I changed my face, changed it over and over, but I'm still not happy, still feel incomplete, still feel inadequate, because changing the outside doesn't change what's inside. If I could go back to 43-year-old Barbara, to that woman standing at the mirror, you know what I'd tell her? Stop, Barbara. Those lines are beautiful. Those lines tell your story. Tell about your laughter. Tell about your life. Nobody's looking at those lines, Barbara. Only you are. And if you don't stop now, if you don't stop right now, you'll lose yourself completely. But I can't reach her. That woman is gone, and she left me behind. I'm 68 with a face that can't move, can't speak, can't tell, a silent face, a frozen face, a dead face, and this is my choice, my mistake, my loss. You don't make the same mistake. Beauty doesn't matter. Youth doesn't matter. Being real matters. Being yourself matters. One day you'll look in the mirror and you'll either see yourself or a stranger. I saw a stranger and now I can't go back. You can go back. You still have time.